dope intro.
Okay, open port 618 on their firewall and I'll join you.
Done and done.
All right, ChatGPT, let's see what you do with that one. And Google Palm. All right, let's see what ChatGPT did with that one. The question was, many activities of government are deemed confidential or classified. This seems to be how a lot of corruption hides. How can we balance the need for confidentiality and the need for transparency? As dude, this is ChatGPT's reply to that. Balancing the need for confidentiality and the need for transparency is a complex issue, particularly when it comes to government activities that are deemed confidential or classified. On the one hand, there's a need to protect something. Okay, yeah. One way to balance these competing needs is to establish clear guidelines and protocols for determining what information should be classified and how it should be handled. This should include a rigorous vetting process for determining what information is truly sensitive and what can be made public without compromising national security. Okay, well. Additionally, it may be necessary to establish independent oversight bodies to ensure that the classification process is being used appropriately and that information is not being unnecessarily withheld from the public. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's already in place, or not that it's necessarily functioning that well, but it's in place, I believe. Another way to balance the need for confidentiality and transparency is to use technology to create secure communication channels that allow government officials to share sensitive information with each other while still maintaining confidentiality. For example, encrypted messaging platforms and secure file sharing systems can be used to share sensitive information without the risk of it being intercepted or hacked. Well, with a lesser risk of it anyway. Nothing is totally certain when you're talking about digital technology, but whatever. I'll let that one slide. Finally, it is important to recognize that transparency and confidentiality are not mutually exclusive. In some cases, it may, well, in a way they kind of are, but I think they are in some ways. In some cases, it's like the whole dichotomy between, convenience and security. One benefits at the expense of the other, I think, but I digress. In some cases, it may be possible to release redacted versions of classified documents or provide summaries of confidential information. Redacted is when they, you've probably seen it in a movie where you take a Sharpie basically, or take some sort of black pen of some kind and cross out certain words and letters. Of course, that doesn't really, there's digital equivalents to that, but still. Let's see, provide valuable insights into government activities without compromising sensitive information. Overall, balancing the need. That's a pretty canned response. Let's see if Google did a little better with it. At least nothing too, mind-blowing there. This is a complex question. Yeah, no kidding. And there is no easy answer. No, yeah, we already knew that part. However, there are a few things that can be done to balance the need for confidentiality. So Google Palm response, by the way, over here on the right. And the need for transparency. First, it is important to have clear and specific rules about what information can be classified and why, which ChatGPT, again, I find it very interesting because ChatGPT's responses are so much more long-winded than the Google Palm responses. And they tend to touch on similar, they kind of touch on similar things. It just, the Google responses are more concise, not necessarily better, just less wordy, which is kind of nice. First, it is important to have clear and specific rules about what information can be classified and why. Second, it is important to have independent oversight of the classification process to ensure that it is being used appropriately. Third, it is important to make sure that the public is aware of the reasons why certain information is classified. By taking these steps, we can help ensure... Okay, whoops, I'm on the wrong side. ChatGPT. And let's see what you do with that. I think this will be the last prompt that I do. Because, yeah. Okay, let's see. So the question was, how can AI systems help with this? So with the need for transparency to limit corruption in the government, how can AI help with that? Let's see. Hopefully you can still see my face. Let me pop back into Studio really quick, make sure I didn't mess up because I just kind of shifted how I was sitting. Okay, good. Cool deal. All right. So how can AI systems help? ChatGPT, it says, as dude, AI systems can play a role in balancing the need for confidentiality and the need for transparency in government activities. One way AI can help is by automating the classification process itself, which is probably something AI could potentially be very good at, but having an AI system directly handle classified documents does pose some problems. By using machine learning algorithms, AI can analyze large volumes of data and identify patterns that may indicate sensitive information. So like how it's worded, certain keywords being used, and so forth. This can help reduce the risk of human error and ensure that information is classified appropriately. It's something machine learning would probably be really good at. But would have to have a lot of security hardening because it, again, would be an AI system directly handling classified information. That can pose some problems too. But then again, also having dumb humans handle it can probably pose more problems. But sorry, my throat is still very dry. It is, I think, 110 right now where I live. I'm not outside, but still, I'm feeling, my throat is feeling dry just looking out the window at the moment. Additionally, AI can be used to enhance the security of classified information. For example, AI-powered encryption systems can be used to protect sensitive information and from being intercepted or hacked. Yes, AI could definitely be used for that. AI can also be used to improve the efficiency of the declassification process, probably even a better use for it because you're handling information that is potentially at least not needing to be classified anymore. If there is some kind of error, leak, or whatever with the AI system, I would say I would wager less harm done, a lot less harm, in fact. By using natural language processing and machine learning algorithms, AI can quickly analyze large volumes of classified documents and identify sections that can be safely declassified without compromising national security. I would say that's a pretty good use for it. Finally, AI can be used to improve the transparency of government activities by providing valuable insights into government data that is not classified. For example, using data analytics and machine learning algorithms. Again, machine learning. AI can identify patterns and trends in government spending and identify potential instances of waste or corruption, which I'd already mentioned in a previous response, but that's okay. Another thing that is not mentioned here by Chatgpt, but using AI to improve the transparency of government activities would be to aggregate data for public consumption. So, information that is not needing to be confidential, be able to publish it online, but publish kind of like synopsises of how things are working behind the scenes to help with the transparency thing. Overall, AI has the potential to significantly enhance efforts to balance the need for confidentiality and the need for transparency in government activities. However, it is important to ensure that the use of AI in this context is be done ethically and in compliance with any privacy regulations. Although it is funny because ChatGPT replied earlier, as dude, right here, as dude, I can suggest these ideas without any concern for their ethical implications. And it's saying, oh no, but you have to do this ethically. What do you care? I'm just kidding. Of course, it's an AI. It doesn't have any biases, at least that we know of. Would we know though if it did have biases? Honestly, probably not. All right, let's see what Google Palm did with this one. AI systems can help to balance the need for confidentiality and the need for transparency by automating the classification process and providing independent oversight. Yeah, GPT kind of touched on that. For example, AI systems can be used to scan public records for sensitive information and automatically classify it. That's interesting. Provide a little more detail than ChatGPT, though ChatGPT did mention something like that. AI systems can also be used to track down how information is classified and ensure that it is being used appropriately. By automating the classification process and providing independent oversight, AI systems can help to ensure that the government is transparent and accountable, at least as much as possible, while still protecting sensitive information. I think I'm going to just stop it there. These responses, honestly, are a bit surprising. Not like mind-blowing, not super surprising, but they are surprising. They are showing a sophistication in some of these AIs, I think, that it is, and this is, like I said earlier, this is by far not the craziest stuff I've heard come out of these, that these AIs say, and how I engaged with actually a philosophical debate with ChatGPT at one point, and I would say it was a tie. And it found a flaw in my reasoning. I presented a logical argument. It found a flaw in my reasoning that was not super obvious, at least to the casual observer. I intentionally left a flaw in my reasoning. I knew about the flaw in my reasoning, but I wanted to see if the AI found the flaw, and it found it, nailed it on square on the head. That'll be in the future live stream. But for now, let me just say that these AI systems are far more sophisticated than I thought. They've come along a lot further than I thought they would by this point. I thought, some of the responses I've gotten in this conversation and others with ChatGPT, I thought we wouldn't be there. We wouldn't have that level of sophistication with an AI for maybe the next at least 5 years, maybe 10, depending on how much money you basically throw at it and into the development. But one interesting concern I do have with AI is it's becoming very tribal. And if you look at the news, you guys can Google this if you feel the desire to. But it's becoming more very tribal. Initially, with projects like OpenAI, there was a push to make AI code base, open source, hence the name OpenAI, which apparently I've been told is no longer open source. I did not independently verify that, but apparently that's what I've been told. And it's becoming very tribal, where you have the Google Palm over here, you have ChatGPT, you have this new AI that Facebook is coming out with, a Lambda or Llama something, whatever it's called. There's a Facebook AI. There's ChatGPT, of course, which is backed by Microsoft. Microsoft's one of the major backers, not the only one, but one of the major backers of OpenAI. So that's kind of their thing to an extent. Google has their thing with Palm. There are others. Apple is rumored to be pouring money into making their own sort of ChatGPT-like thing, and hopefully it does better than. If Siri is any indication, it probably won't be very good. But I do love my iPhone, but I'm not overly fond of Siri, to be honest. Anyway, I am kind of concerned with it being it's becoming very tribal. AI can be potentially very beneficial thing for humankind, but that only really works if it's shared with all, or at least as many humans as we possibly can. Shared openly, freely. In my opinion, it should be shared completely freely with the world. It should be something that people can all benefit from equally. And that doesn't seem to be happening. But anyway, it is sophisticated. And we've, like I said, we've come a lot further than I thought we would. We've come a lot further than I thought we would by this point. And we'll see where it goes. Hopefully it doesn't turn into Skynet. Obviously, that would suck. So thanks, guys, for hanging with me. I'm going to be trying to do live streams much more often, and videos and things much more often. Now that my channel has crossed that 1,100 subscriber threshold, I'm starting to put more effort into it, kind of be more professional about it instead of just a casual whenever I feel like it type of effort, which is what it's been so far, to be honest. But anyway, thanks again for hanging with me. I will catch you guys on the next one. Ciao.